Mr. Speaker, sir, at the very outset, I would like to thank the Honorable Governor for his address and would like to also thank our honorable members, Sri Sostenes Sotun, Sri Rupa M. Mara, Sri Gavin Milliam, Sri Renington Lingdo Tongkar, Sri Hevingson Kharprang, Sri Merrill Bonsiem, Sri Matthew Kurba, Sri Rupert Momin, Sri Arden Miller Basaimet, Sri Violet Mikishila, Sri Jim M. Sangma, Sri Charles Marangar, Sri Bright Star Well Marbanyang, Sri Charles Pinrop, Dr. Mukul Sangma, Sri Sinsar Kupar Roy Lingdo Thaba, Dr. Mizanur Rahman Kazi, Sri Maton Sangma, Sri Lakmen Rumbui, Sri Balajit Kupar Sindrem, Sri Ronnie V. Lingdo, and Sri Remington Gabal Momin for having participated in the Governor's Address debate. Sir, there were a large number of issues that were shared by the respective members of the Legislative Assembly, and though I may not be able to specifically reply to each and every concern of every MLA, let me assure the House and the Honorable MLAs that I have, as always, personally taken a note of each of those issues, and my entire team of officials has also taken down each and every point and concerns that have been raised by the honorable members. Sir, in the course of the debate, certain sectors were touched upon. And therefore, without going into individual issues, let me just dwell on certain sectors which I felt were important for me to stress on and also to give some clarity on how we moved forward. Sir, in the speech of the Honorable Governor, we had tried to share different development programs, the different schemes and policies that this MDA-2 government has tried to bring in the last many years. So the farmers have always been a very important section of our society. 75% plus people are engaged in farming activities or farming related activities. And even during the course of the debate, many of the members had raised concerns about the different hardship that the farmers are facing. Sir, I would like to draw your attention to one of the issues that was repeatedly raised by many of the members, which was regarding the difficulties that are faced by the areca nut farmers and the difficulties that are faced by the broomstick farmers. And as we all know, they are a very large section of our society and of the farming fraternity. And because of different market conditions or forces, we have seen different fluctuations in the price that our farmers, especially of areca nut and broomstick, are getting. And after discussion with many of the MLAs and with our agriculture minister and the officials, for the very first time, the government has come out with a market intervention scheme, especially meant for non-perishable products, starting with broomsticks and areca nut farmers. So this particular program is not exactly a minimum support price. I want to clarify that. A minimum support price has a different aspect and a different way of functioning. This scheme is a very specific market intervention scheme. Therefore, what we do is that we are able to buy certain products at a certain price from certain farmers and intervene so that we are able to overall push the demand factor in the market, drive the demand by government coming in and purchasing at a higher price, which would see the overall rate of the market go up. So it's a market intervention scheme. And we have earmarked and kept a pool of about 100 crores to rotate this money to keep intervening in the market as the prices go down. So I'll just give you a small example. So for dried broom grass, as per the reports when it was made, so the prevalent price at that point in time was 35 rupees per kg for dried broom grass. And as per the TriFed, Government of India agency that monitors all these prices, the notified price of the product, which is dried broom grass, should be 50 rupees. So based on this input and putting a 10% additional margin on the base price, the benchmark price identified by TriFed, a Government of India agency, we notified a price of 55 rupees for the farmers. So the market was prevalent at 35, we increased the price to 55 to buy. Now how does this work, sir? We have a certain quota which we buy from certain farmers. So dried broom grass, we put a quota of 800 kgs to be bought from one particular farmer. So we targeted 12,000 farmers based on, of course, the information and lists that we got from our officials at the grassroots level, and bought 800 kgs from each farmer to the max. And money was put directly into their account. Of course, this process has just started. We have only been able to, as of now, register only about 183 farmers because this project or this particular program started just last month. We have just notified it. We decided about 2 months or 3 months back. And this is the process similarly we are following for areca nut also, where again the prevalent price in the market was 87 rupees and 50 paisa. As per TriFed, it should have been at 100 rupees. And therefore, we added a margin of 10% again, and we offered a notified price of 110, where 400 kgs of areca nut would be bought from 10,000 farmers. So this, we are hopeful, which is happening for the first time, sir, in our state. We are hopeful that this kind of a program of market intervention and procurement by the government will help us in pushing the demand, which will obviously lead to the price of the product going up, and will then intervene accordingly so that the prices go up in the market, sir. And the way we have worked is that this entire scheme, the implementation has been decentralized. So yes, we have nodal department, we have the state level committee, we have implementing agency, but we have district level committees where farmers are members in this committee. Different community based organizations are also members in this committee, and they can then give their inputs and suggestions as we move forward. So having said that, the CM Assure program is one of a kind, started for the first time in our state, and we will evolve. We look for suggestions from the members. I'm sure we're not saying that this program is perfect, but we have to start somewhere. And so we have started this process. How far can we go? We will do our best so that we can touch not just these 22,000 farmers. We will hope and we'll try our best so that we can touch all the farmers who are growing areca nut and dried broom grass in our state, so that they are able to get the right pricing for their products, which they are not getting right now because there is a market demand issue and a price issue, and they're not getting the rate that they should be getting. So therefore, sir, this CM Assure program is something that we really want to market and share with the people, and this will help the poorest of the poor farmers in our state. As I said, sir, this year alone we have 22,000 farmers that we're targeting, and next year, of course, we will try to target more. But also I would like to share, sir, that this is not a project that is going to happen every year. It's a project that will happen as per market conditions. So whenever we see the price is going down below the benchmark price fixed by TriFed, that is when the government will intervene. So this pool will lie with the government to be utilized as and when the situation demands. So at the same time, we have also realized that our farmers grow a large quantity of products. And they may be small farmers and they may not have the quantity that's required for, say, opening up their own processing plant. But if we were to collectivize them, bring them together, and ensure that their market, the produce that they have, is then brought to one location or to one particular processing unit, we realize that that would be a model that would succeed. And that is the reason why we started the program called Focus and Focus Plus. And so under these programs, we have collectivized the farmers. We have brought them together by giving them financial incentive. And today under Focus, more than 30,000 groups are today formed, and they are doing different activities. And these groups, along with different self-help groups, are then linked to a cooperative society and then to an entrepreneur who then is able to process and take the products out, sir. We realized that apart from collectivizing the farmers, bringing them together and allowing them to be in the same platform, the second objective was to provide the facilities for food processing. Sir, you'll be surprised to know that there were hardly any food processing units in our state. In the last 7 years, we have come out with a large number of processing units. I will be talking more about it in the budget speech also. But just in the last few months, in a few years, so more than 100 such units have come out, which are smaller in nature, but also at the same time we have come out with much larger units. Almost close to 32 of them are in the pipeline, out of which close to about 12 are already functional, and the rest also will be made functional. So these are very large units. And just to give an example to you, sir, the project that we have in Umdihar, the IVCS, the Integrated Village Cooperative Society that is running this, so got a support of about 1 crore from us, from the state government. We went for what we call a community public-private partnership. This is a new concept that was developed by Meghalaya. And we did it because our communities are strong in our state. And this is just one example. So when Umdihar IVCS was formed, so the farmers used to sell their pineapples, as we know, on the road or in different shops or whatever outlets that they could find. And there was not much scope for overall processing. But with the intervention of the government of Meghalaya, a prime hub investment was made of 1 crore. And today, sir, in this area, 600 farmers are benefiting and supplying their products to this Umdihar IVCS. And you'll be very surprised also to know, sir, that we are doing it in partnership with a Bangalore-based company. This company is slicing and freezing the pineapples that our farmers produce. And after this is produced, the frozen pineapples are then taken to Bangalore, because we don't have the facilities yet to produce the next product. But then these products, which are coming out of Meghalaya, are then made into baby food powder. And this baby food powder is then exported to Switzerland, and children in Switzerland today are consuming our pineapples from Riboy, being processed here, and then further, of course, being processed. Now, this is a beginning, sir. This is just the beginning. We learn as we move along. And like this, 100 units in different parts of the state doing work for different products have started. There is a unit we have put up in Rongara, in one of the most remotest locations of our state, right at the border of Bangladesh. So in that unit, which is again run by the cooperative society, and of course there are some private partners also who are partnering with us there, but community owns that particular place, the equipments, the entire setup, which is again solar powered. And there they are able to produce chips made out of jackfruit. They call it awang chips. So the name is Uncle Chips, so they changed the name to awang chips. So it's called awang chips. And awang chips is being produced in Garo Hills. In Tikrikila, our Honorable MLA from Tikrikila is here with us. He'll tell you, sir. There is a food processing plant where almost 10,000 farmers today are supplying their product to this particular plant, again run by a cooperative society. 10,000 farmers. And you'll be surprised to see the kind of products and packaging. I think one of the most famous products that they're making today is an ice cream, sir, made from Meghalaya, made in Meghalaya, made by the products of our people of our state. And the name of the ice cream also is very interesting. It's called Nokma ice cream. So Nokma ice cream is a new brand of our state being produced by the ginger, the banana, the pineapple being grown by our farmers. 10,000 farmers approximately, sir, are supplying their products to this particular processing unit. My point being, sir, there's a large intervention in terms of the benefit for the farmers, whether it is the CM Assure, whether it's the CM Farm Plus, whether it's the Focus program, or whether it is food processing through prime hubs and cooperative societies. There is a huge intervention today. And the different mission mode programs. Sir, mission mode programs, our Honorable Minister, Makoming, is here. In his area, there are a large number of women's self-help groups today who used to grow a small quantity of Lakadong turmeric. Hardly about 1,000 metric tons 7 years back. But today, with the mission Lakadong being launched in 2018. I don't have the exact figure with me. I just remember because I saw Makoming sitting in front. So we have most probably touched almost 20,000 metric tons in production of Lakadong turmeric. That means 20 times increase in a matter of 7 years because of the focus approach. And it's not just the production in terms of the raw turmeric, but we have close to 15 solar-powered processing units that are washing, slicing, and drying the different products. And these are all run by our women's self-help groups. And these products today are being packaged and being marketed throughout the world. And so these are small steps, I must say, small steps. There's a long journey ahead of us, many, many more things to do. But the reason I'm mentioning this to you, sir, is that we are on the right track. Now we need to expand the work that we have done, the foundations that we have laid, the different kind of institutional setups that we've created will now empower our farmers to go to the next level. And the journey will be hard, difficult, there'll be a lot of ups and downs. But sir, we are there as a government to be with the farmers and support them in every step of the way, whether it is hand-holding them, whether it's giving them different technology, whether it's giving them financial support, or whether it's being with them during distress times when the prices of their products are low. This government is committed to being with the farmers, helping and supporting and promoting our farmers, sir. So I would also like to share a bit about some of the issues related with a subject mentioned by in the amendment that was given regarding unemployment, sir. It said that it failed to talk about unemployment. Sir, unemployment is the goal or the objective, or rather I should say employment is the goal and objective of everything that we're doing out here. So therefore, if we don't mention the word employment, it doesn't mean that we're not doing anything for it. Everything that we do in the budget is targeted towards creating employment for our youth. Sir, approximately, I have repeated this in the last many replies I've given. Approximately 70,000 plus and minus. I mean, in the sense, some years it could be more, some years it could be less. But approximately on an average, 70,000 youths enter the workforce every year. I'll repeat, sir, 70,000 youths enter the workforce in Meghalaya every year. Meghalaya is one of the youngest states in our country. Almost 45% of our population is below the age of 20. You can say almost 50% is below the age of 21, roughly, plus minus. So you can imagine the young population that we have. And therefore, this number that I'm talking about is only going to increase in the coming years. More and more youths are going to enter the workforce. And if you look at the government sector, so on an average, plus minus again, depending on the year, vacancies on an average of about 1,200 to 1,500 vacancies will arise in government job. And if you add maybe the casual and the different programs through the government programs, EAPs and all these things put together, maybe about 2,000 plus and minus jobs. 70,000 people entering the workforce, 2,000 government jobs available. So therefore the question is, what happens to the 68,000 youths? And that is the reason why, if you look at the entire vision that we have created for 2032, the number says 84,000 crores GDP. Now 84,000 crores is equivalent to $10 billion when we had come out with this target, because at that point in time we were 44,000 crore GDP. And we targeted to double it, that is bring it to 88,000. So we took a rough figure of 85,000, which matched with the $10 billion number at that point in time. So to achieve that, how can we push the different sectors to create the necessary employment by ensuring that enterprise and entrepreneurship grows, technology is brought in, and sectors like IT and tourism and different areas like food processing, where our strengths lie, how we can push this to be able to then cater to the needs of the rest of the 68,000 youth. And therefore, sir, the programs that we have mentioned in our speech, in the Honorable Governor's speech, and now you will also hear the budget, and you must have obviously read the past speeches, is all directed towards creating jobs. The investments we make in tourism, there is a direct and an indirect job creation. Yes, there can be critics who will say why we have these programs, why we're spending money. But one has to realize, sir, when an activity takes place, we have to invest in making that activity happen. But that activity, that program for that one particular day has an economic multiplier effect in terms of different activities that come out, in terms of different avenues that come out. If we have one football match out here, the taxis, the different hotels, the different restaurants, the different shops, because people who will come here will go for shopping, so on and so forth, the economic multiplier, as they call it, that impact comes in when we have one event. Our Honorable Prime Minister spoke about concert economies and how the investment made in one particular show led to an economic outcome of more than 20 times the multiplier effect. That is a kind of impact that these events can have. And therefore, tourism is a great multiplier of investment. Tourism is a great area of job creation. And that is why we as a government, and we have strength for it. We have strength for it. So just connecting to tourism, I want to share with all of you, with the August House, that we are pushing like never before to start our airport in Umraiza. 15 years back, or about 10 plus years back, a report was made that said that commercial flights can only, larger commercial flights, I'm talking about A320 and equivalent, can only land if certain mountains are chopped off, because they were coming on the way of the ILS, which is the Instrument Landing System. Now, to chop off those mountains, it would cost the government close to 7,000 crores to chop off those mountains at that point in time. Again, plus minus 6,000, 7,000 crores. Obviously impossible, sir. So last year, before we went into the decision that shall we explore for a new airport, we decided, look, this report was 12 years, 15 years back. Technology has changed today. Why don't we get another study done just to be 100% sure? And we did it. We invested money and we did a study done along with Airport Authority and other agencies. And I'm happy to inform you that that report came out positive. And that report said that if the government and Airport Authority invests on the runway and does a bit of clearing, which is not that expensive, and extends the overall runway with the new technology available, the commercial aircrafts can land, the A320s and equivalents can land in this airport without having to chop the mountains off. So when we got that report, we shared that report with Indigo, we shared that report with SpiceJet and other airlines and said, look, if we do this, you study this report, if we do this as per this report, will you land and will you operate your flights? And they have given a confirmation that yes. If these steps are taken, then we will 100% be able to land the larger aircrafts in Shillong. And therefore, sir, with that report, now we are moving forward. We are engaging with the landowners, we are engaging with the Defense Ministry, because some of the areas require the land to be taken from them. And this engagement is under process. We've engaged with the Civil Aviation Ministry. We're getting full support. We will be able to extend our runway. Of course, these land issues need to be resolved at the earliest so that we don't miss out the working season. And we're hopeful, sir, that we will be able to land the larger aircrafts in the year 2026. If it happens early, then maybe by January. But even in a worst case scenario, we're hoping, if all goes well, at least before Christmas in 2026, we should be seeing the larger aircrafts land. And once that happens, so you can imagine the amount of opportunities that will open up for us in terms of tourism. Because for a tourist, there is nothing like a direct flight. Because it takes 1 second for them to decide. And the decision will be made easier when they know that there is a direct flight coming to Shillong. My point being, sir, that we are doing multiple activities in multiple sectors with that one thought process in mind: creation of jobs. Sir, India is a young nation. This is a problem not just for Meghalaya. It's a problem for the country. And I repeat to every youth that I meet. So, you'll hear the budget speech, so you'll be able to connect when I speak to the budget, when I give my budget speech. The amount of investments we're making in the youth, the amount of investments we're making in sports, why we have made sure that we have Meghalaya Games every year. Why did we work so hard to get the national games to Meghalaya? These are all connected with creating the opportunity for the youth. It's all connected with shaping, nurturing our youth so that we create and push them in the positive direction, sir. So therefore, I can go into the details of the employment generation activities. But again, as I said, it will be very time consuming. But I can just share just basics. So tourism being one, different programs, policies, whether it's the prime vehicles we're giving to the different entrepreneurs who are now using that as tourist taxis, which will continue, sir. I really wish that we'll be able to push this up to 300 to 400 vehicles. We have right now about 100 of them. I target that at least 300 to 400, if possible 500 vehicles should be there. Similarly, for the prime vehicles in terms of the agriculture prime vehicles also, which we're giving to cooperative societies, to SHGs, and to individual farmers also. Again, hundreds of vehicles have been given. We want to expand much more. These create job opportunities. CM Elevate is a great program, sir. We have been able to support 3,000 entrepreneurs till now, from small scale entrepreneurs to larger ones who will employ 20, 30, 40 people, to those smaller ones who will employ maybe 1 or 2 people. Everybody is an entrepreneur, and we have got provisions to support each and every one of them in every possible way. The IT sector. The IT sector, sir, is responding and growing like we never could expect. So today, we have companies like iMerit. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the IT industry. There's a company called iMerit. And iMerit has got about 5,000 plus employees, offices in 20, 30 locations throughout the world. And their job is mainly to do with AI, artificial intelligence. And in the artificial intelligence, what this company does is they are able to create predictability models based on the software they have. Input the models and the concerned criterias and come out with a prediction as to why something is happening or what they should do to prevent it. Example, the bud rot disease that was being mentioned by one of our honorable members, and it's a big concern for me also. I've been talking about this a lot. Honorable Member had mentioned, Minister had mentioned that we have been taking some steps, and this has been mainly because I have been personally intervening in this. I have seen the farms that are just, they look like a ghost town because the entire crown is gone and there's just the trunk that is left, and it just looks like matchsticks being put across, on the mountain. It's a very scary sight, sir, and farmers are really suffering. But coming back to my point of the artificial intelligence, which iMerit does, they are able to put different aspects into the modeling and the software they have. I'm giving example only, sir, but they do it for many other things. They do it for things like agriculture, flood, forest, you name it, sir, all kind of different topics. Now, why I'm telling you this, sir, is that one of their offices is right here in Shillong. Right here in Shillong. And they have employing close to 300 people, our own boys and girls, right here from Shillong, mostly from East Khasi Hills. And they are the ones who are working on these models. They are the ones who put in the input. I've seen the way they work, sir. And it's a software where then they have to just simply, they've been given like 200 steps to be done. So they go to a particular satellite picture, they take that particular clipping from that satellite picture, put it into that input, then they take the picture that has been given by the IMD, then they take that data information from it, they go to a different place, they get another data and input, and then they are able to create the predictability models. I spoke to the chairman of the company because she had come here during the inauguration, and she told me that one of the best people, the best employees that she has seen are the employees from Shillong. And she said that we would love to expand our program out here. The people from Meghalaya, the people from Shillong, the youngsters who are working with us are one of the most committed and most sincere people that we have seen in all our offices across. So we are very, very happy with the manpower out here. So this is the kind of quality that our people have. And this is a brand, not just iMerit, sir. All the other companies that are working there, 24/7i, there's another company. It's a kind of a call center come medical transcription company. Even they have given me the same feedback. So what are we doing? We are creating another IT park. So the second phase is coming up, which will have 3,000 plus seats. So there'll be more 3,000 direct jobs. So every seat goes at least 2 cycles or 3 cycles. So you'll have at least about close to 6,000 to 7,000 direct employment there. And the indirect employment in terms of the food, the transportation, the cleaning, the non-technical staff, so many things will also create more jobs. And that is why we've come out with the policy in the IT policy, which I'm sure it's in public domain. And I'll be talking about that more, where we are going to be giving 3,000 rupees per employee, per company, for the first 15,000 people who come in for creating the jobs. That means that if you're coming in as a company and you're going to set it up right now, we will give you, and you have got 10 employees working with you. Government will give incentive of 3,000 rupees per employee. That means we'll give you 30,000 rupees per month to be paid then to those employees as an incentive for coming in and setting up your business here in Meghalaya and providing the job opportunities to our youth. So that is the kind of work that we're doing. So whether it is tourism, whether it is IT, whether it's CM Elevate, whether it's the prime vehicles, all of these are linked towards employment generation, sir. So there was also a concern that was mentioned about health. So before I come to health, I'll just speak about education because this document is right here in front of me. So similarly in education, they mentioned that how will we deal with problems of our teachers and the complex problem of the NEP. Sir, here I would like to take a minute or so to at least share and discuss about the entire, I shouldn't say problem, but the complication that we have when it comes to our teaching fraternities. Sir, in the teachers, as you are aware, primarily we have the government LP school teachers and government UP and government secondary and high secondary teachers, and government college. And then we have our SSA teachers, who are again, as I said, part funded by Government of India and part funded by state government. And then we have the private schools, which then get grant in aid to then pay their teaching staff, which is what we call the ad hoc teachers and the deficit teachers. Why I'm giving this differentiation and segregation, sir, is because sometimes we as members don't realize it, but these categories are different. So today, when we say that the ad hoc schools are not getting salary, the state government does not give ad hoc teachers salary directly. Ad hoc teachers are managed by a managing committee, which is a private school, but we give grant in aid to that managing committee, who then give it to their teachers, because the school is not owned by government. This is owned by, say, it could be, sir, I apologize, but just to give the example, it could be the TD Shira LP school. And it will be your school, and you're running it, it's your land, it's your building, everything belongs to you, you take the fees, everything. But we are giving you a grant of, say, 2 lakhs to run your school, because we feel you're doing good to society, and they are doing good to society. And that is the ad hoc category, and even deficits are in a similar pattern, where we give a higher scale, but then we don't own that school. It's again the TD Shira, deficit college. You own it, it's your building, everything, but we give a grant to run that school and that college. Now, government gives close to 1,000 crores every year to these ad hoc schools and deficit schools and colleges, sir. So therefore, the first thing I would like to at least request and urge and also share with our members, that we must realize the different classifications of the schools so that we're able to address the problems in the correct way. If we mix everything together, then we won't be able to address the issues. So that's the reason it's important to classify and know the categorization of each schools. I remember some of the members had mentioned to me that, sir, the schools in my constituency have no roof. So it's important again to know, is it an ad hoc school? Is it a SSA school, or is it a government LP school? Because then it'll depend on that. And that is the reason why, if you know this, the education, mission education, we have taken it upon ourselves that the government schools, all government LP schools, they must get a new building, or at least they must get major repair, which the process is on. And we are in the final stage now. Within this next financial year, we should be able to complete all of them. SSA schools, yes, we have been supporting some of them. And through my Chief Minister's Special Development Fund also we give. But then last comes the ad hoc categories, where most of the problem actually for school lies. Now in this, the people who look at the school and say there's no building, there's no roof. And of course it is a problem, sir. I'm not saying it's not a problem. It is a problem and it has to be resolved. So I'm not trying to run away from it, but I'm just trying to share the classification so that we're able to then address it in the right manner. So for the ad hoc school, it's not that the government and education department can give money directly to that ad hoc school. We have to give it through some kind of a grant again. So we have to give it through maybe CMSDF, or we have to create some kind of a provision. So therefore, because these schools are owned by that managing committee or by that individual, not by the government. So I think these kind of things are very important to know, sir, and to also keep in mind. And therefore, for the different categories of teachers, at every level we have been trying to engage, trying to resolve the problems. As mentioned, sir, with the ad hoc teachers also, the different associations which are present. We have about, I think, close to 15 different associations of teachers that are there in the state. We engage with most of them, and we try to resolve the problems, as far as possible, to help the teachers and to improve the overall, their statures also. So in terms of the NEP, sir, we are very, very aggressively moving towards that. It is not possible for us to implement all the provisions in one go, because there are so many of them. But our intent is very clear, whether it is the setting up of the Captain Williamson Sangma State University, which is the first state university of our state, or whether it is the multidisciplinary courses we have started now in all the government colleges. So whether it is Kianangba, or whether it is Tura, or William Nagar, or Sora, in all of them we have decided that multidisciplinary courses will start. So science streams will start, commerce stream will start, and wherever there is absence of any other stream, all of these streams will start. So with the government colleges, we have started this whole process of multidisciplinary courses, which is one of the most important mandates of the NEP. We have established large number of People's College. Again, about 21 of them are there. And of course, we are examining the possibility to expand the footprint, because we realize that there are a large number of students who are still not getting the facility of colleges. And of course, the different aspects of learning-centric education, whether it is putting up of different professional colleges or technical colleges, these are also being worked at, whether it is aspects of constituting different kind of committees and bodies that are mandated by the NEP. These also are being done at war footing. And many, many other steps, and I have a full report on this, but I don't think it will be possible for me to read out all of those aspects. But we are on the right track, is what I'm saying, sir. We are on the right track. Are we close to completing? No, sir. We have a way to go, because there are a lot of financial implications when we start multidisciplinary courses and provide different kind of, here we have to see that all the secondary schools will have to go into higher secondary mode, because now it's a 4 years course where 9, 10, 11, 12 is continuous. So when these schools have to do and start the secondary or the higher secondary, then financial implications are there. A large number of them are again private schools being aided by us. So all these kind of challenges are there, but in a phase-wise manner, we are working towards ensuring that we achieve those goals also. So in terms of health, again, I'll be expressing and giving a lot of details in my budget today. So I will not go too much into all the details. But in the last many years, sir, we have invested very, very aggressively in creating the infrastructure and providing manpower and equipments and medicines as far as possible in the rural areas itself, sir. The point being so that health services are available at the village level, at the doorstep, at least the primary aspect, so that they don't have to travel too far. Have we completed all of the areas? Not yet, sir. There's a way to go forward. We are working towards it, but a large number has been done, and I'll be sharing that in my budget speech. But just to give a small example to you, so today in terms of medicine, this is, I think, we are one of the few states that has managed to now completely make the overall medicine supply seamless, So we are 99%, you can say, seamless. There was a point, sir, in time in 2018, I remember, when I had reviewed the health department. There was a major issue with medicines. There could be some minor issues now, but there was major issues then. And we realized that a simple process of indenting the medicines, or a simple process of storing the medicine, or a simple process of transporting the medicines, these systems were not in place. By the time a doctor would indent on the needs of that particular PHC or CHC, and that register and the file would reach DHS, Director of Health Services. By the time it would reach them, the CHC wouldn't require that medicine anymore. But then the medicine would be sent because that was indented already. And that is why we had problems, because then we used to have expired medicines, because these medicines were not expired when they were ordered, or rather they were bought. But by the time they reached the place, it was already 6 months, 1 year, sometimes even 1.5 years. And then those medicines would lie there for months and ages, and they would be of no use. So what we did, we made everything online. Today, no doctor has to give in writing or register or file anything in writing for the indenting of medicine. The indenting of medicine is online. Within a matter of minutes, once the indenting is done online, the data is sent to the DHS, and to the concerned department. After every procurement is done, we have bought vehicles now to transport the medicine from our godowns or from the supplier to the CHC, which was not there before. And we have got storage houses in all the district headquarters, which again was not the case before. So I still remember in 2018 when I had the meeting, one of the DHMOs, the district health and medical officers, they told me in confidence, they told me, sir, I bring the medicines in my car. I drive from the district headquarters to Shillong. I put the medicine in my Maruti vehicle and I take that to thing. There is no. I said, why? He said, sir, we don't have vehicles. So it's not about trying to dig out and say things about the past. I'm just giving you an example of the facts. So we changed all of that. Today the vehicles are there. Today there's a system in place. There's an online indenting. And the best part is anybody, any citizen, it's not even officers, any citizen can go online and you can check which medicine is available in which PHC. Up to every single medicine. The whole stock of the medicine is open to you. This is transparency. There was one issue mentioned about transparency in the governance. How more, what better way to be transparent than to let the whole public know what medicines are today available online. They're able to check, say suppose a very distant PHC also, they can actually check how much blood pressure medicine is there, how much paracetamol medicine is there, how much other medicines required are there or not. And as per the need, the information can be sent to us and we can take necessary action. So today, sir, the entire turnaround of the medicine supply is a great example of how we have managed to ensure that our people at the grassroots level are able to get better service at a much more economical rate. So another thing in medicine I want to share with you is that we have also introduced the concept of getting generic medicine, sir. Now, why I talk about this, sir? There can be debate. I'm sure there'll be some people who say, no, branded medicines have this and generic medicines don't have this. So in certain medicines, the chemical formula, as far as I know, sir, I'm not a pharmacist or neither am I a doctor. But as far as I know, certain medicines, the chemical compositions are almost similar. Everybody knows. But because of the branding, that same paracetamol will cost 10 rupees and have the same impact, and at the same time, the same generic medicine will also have the same impact, of a painkiller. And therefore, so when somebody has to have a medicine regularly, say for example, a BP medicine. So these medicines also, there are of course many brands, and of course there is a combination and all those things. But the basic medicines, today we are also giving the options to the people. Again, I say option because it depends on the person concerned and depends on the doctor, of course. We have given the option of going for the generic medicine also, and we're making it available so that people are able to avail the medicines at a much, much more economical rate. So the same medicine which may cost 10, 15 rupees as a branded one, they're getting the generic one at 1 rupees. And if they're not comfortable with taking the generic one because they feel it's a commodity type, then of course they're free to take the other choice. But at least the option today is there. So we are providing that kind of option. And like that, sir, in many areas, we are ensuring that not just medicine, the manpower, sir. In my budget speech, I will be stressing and showing some numbers of how much manpower recruitment has been done in the health sector, which again has improved and transformed the overall health sector, sir. So therefore, I have many other points. I just wanted to touch on few of them. And as I said, we still have the budget speech. And in the budget speech also, sir, I will be more or less addressing and covering a large number of issues and concerns that were raised by the honorable members. But I thought that I would take this opportunity and just touch on a few aspects of the concerns that were raised. And of course, there is the budget debate also, when I'll be replying to the budget. In that, sir, I will take more time to again address more concerns of the MLAs. I still have these points. I'll go through them again and ensure that we are able to cover as many concerns of the MLAs as possible. But sir, I have tried to at least touch on a few important issues that are there and also showcase some of the important steps that have been taken by our government and the kind of impact that these steps have had at the grassroots level, sir. So once again, I thank the Honorable Governor for his address, and I also thank the honorable members, all of them who have participated and given their constructive suggestions on how we could improve things and address issues. And with these few clarifications and different points, I would like to resume my seat. Thank you, sir.
Clarifications, if any, from the movers who moved to amendment to the governor's address? Okay. Hello.
Mr. Speaker, sir, before the mover of the amendment motion to the motion of thanks to the governor, I would like to just
Yes, please.
refer to a few of the concerns which were articulated by me in my submission. I would like to, at the very outset, profusely thank the Chief Minister for elaborately dwelling on a few of the core sectors, particularly agriculture, tourism, IT, sports and entertainment, and also for reassuring us of the intent of the government to ensure transparency. Now, I have mentioned about one of the initiatives, which was again collective endeavor of everyone, Meghalaya Community Participation and Public Services Social Audit 2017 Act. And we went ahead with the constitution of the society to give effect to that intent. I think that is something which is very crucial because we were just listening to the reply pertaining to that water supply scheme implemented under JJM. Now, there is a matter of concern because sometimes you never know what happens on the ground zero. And therefore, the transparency part, when people don't know which particular component is being supported to augment one existing scheme for which investment to a large extent have already been made, you know. So it's a more like a retrofitting, augmentation. So there is a need to have certain exercise put in place wherein we provide the space for the public to know on a real-time basis what is the quantum of investment and what are the scopes of work. So that is what we are talking about, you know. Endeavor has been made because this is based on our past experiences. So I would like to request the Honorable CM to look at this, you know, how to further augment the effort of the government by leveraging upon these few initiatives which has been already there. I appreciate that the whole issue of IT, remember 80 acres of land in New Township was given for the purpose. So it's a question of continuity and leveraging upon the initiative that has been embarked upon because every initiative comes with investment from public money for public good. So these few of these submissions which we made, I think it is in the fitness of things that the mandate of the law which was enacted by this August House, wherein everybody actually, because we were all together at that time also, though we were in the other side, but then the mandate was given by all of us. So please look at how to really leverage upon this very important piece of legislation. In fact, if we Google, you know, there is a question, which is the state in the country which enacted a law for social auditing first? The first state, you'll see Meghalaya. So it's something which comes with the branding of the state. So branding of the state is crucial when we try to position ourselves as one of the states which is different from others. That is how we work on the tourism also. Now, in respect of the education, I would like to just share this concern because otherwise the perception can create some kind of false hope. Because the ad hoc schools, when we refer to ad hoc schools, earlier when we were students, we never had so-called ad hoc schools. We had government-aided schools. Somehow or other over the years, in 1990s, the government decided to change the name, you know, the nomenclature, ad hoc school. We protested, but we couldn't prevail. We wanted to correct it. But precisely it is a government-aided school. So the nomenclature itself reflects. Ad hoc means something which will not exist for long, which is temporary in nature. But government-aided is school which are established by communities, members of the community coming together, not individual. Because now you see everywhere educated youth looking at the gap in education sector, particularly in the primary education. Lots of private schools are coming up. But these private schools are owned by individuals or families. We don't refer to them as those schools which are considered eligible for government aided. It is always the school which have been established by community who have agreed to come together to bridge the gap. So I think this particular stand of the government has been always clear, because Honorable CM in his reply was saying that it is a school which is established by an individual, by a private. But actually it is not so. It is a school which was established by the community coming together, not individual. Otherwise you will end up having more and more demand by individual entrepreneurs who are taking education also as a space wherein they can chip in and bridge the gap. So this is one area of concern. We provide them grant aid for building also. So we can do that, but then it should be for the schools which are otherwise considered as school run by the community, not individual. Or otherwise run by minority schools like missionary schools, like that. Then another issue which I flagged was that completing the projects on time. It must be one of the policy decision and strategy which should govern implementation of all the major programs. Like we talk about that Tura Medical College. Why it is important to complete it as expeditiously as possible? Because then you are able to actually ask further fund from Government of India. So this is something which I request the Chief Minister to look into, so that we will leverage upon many of these important programs like College of Architecture and Urban Planning. It took so long, complete it fast. Let all those projects which are in the process of implementation have a strategy as a matter of policy to expeditiously complete them, absorb the fund. And another part is this whole market access. Please look at how expeditiously we can use the fund available under MITP, because that is the area which is supposed to be covered by the fund under MITP to provide the access to market. So if this whole integration and with the fund that is available are aggregated, I'm sure we will have more and more avenues opening up, and I think there will be reason for people to have a positive, rather, I must say, hope. Hope is reason for us to dream and aspire more. So with this, I would like to urge upon the CM to look at that. Another part is that legislation, and another part is to complete all those important major projects for which we have the fund, and see that we get more fund.
Yeah. Any more clarifications? Yes, please, from the mover.
I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to the Honorable Chief Minister for his extensive reply on various important issues. I would like to dwell on one issue which I think is missing in the reply. In my address, in my speech, I have mentioned about healthcare facilities in the government hospitals. See, the rural people going to the government hospitals, they are always asked to get the better treatment in private clinics and private hospitals. As we have known that the government is funding the hospitals in a very extensive way. But why these people are, if we are funding, we are giving funds to the government for the better facilities. Why the government hospitals are sending these poor people to the private hospitals for the better treatment? Is it mean that better facilities are not available in the government hospitals. This is the only thing, this is the only clarification I want from the Honorable Chief Minister. With this, I resume my seat. Thank you.
Clarification.
Sir, I would like to thank both the honorable members, our LO and our member from Dading, for their concerns. Sir, I will not go into details, but definitely, sir, the act that was referred to, the legislation that was referred to, the Public Meghalaya Community Participation and Public Service Social Audit Act of 2017, so definitely is a very, very important as well as a very powerful mechanism to ensure that we are able to achieve the different goals that we were meant to achieve. And therefore, it's not just about the completion of the project and on time or the completion of the components of the project, but is that project actually having the social impact that it's supposed to have? So you may have completed the hospital, but is the health improving of the people or not? So therefore, it's a very, very powerful and the right way to move forward. And definitely, sir, we are in fact doing a lot of it. And we are also examining on how to expand this further so that more and more departments and all the other programs and policies can also come into this. So definitely, sir, I can assure the House that we will ensure that this particular audit acts and the rules are implemented properly. And in different development aspects, we look at this issue and implement this issue. So regarding the teaching, of course, the point mentioned by Honorable LO is correct that this community owned, but there are some that are also privately owned that are in the list, and this is because of multiple reasons which I don't want to get into at this point in time. But it has happened, and there are such schools also, and it's there now, sir. So we need to figure out how we are going to come out of that aspect. It's not so simple; it's complicated. But so the ad hoc schools and these government-aided schools, they are doing their role. There's no doubt about it. They are providing the service. They're doing their best. But we need to figure out how we can monitor them in a better manner, how we can ensure that ultimately the quality of the education, the grassroots goes up. So these are the challenges that we face. But for us going forward, sir, we'll have to really examine all these aspects. There is a huge demand for hundreds of schools who want ad hoc grant now, deficit grant, and which we already are paying about 1,000 crores. And if we were to take in more schools, then the amount would go up even further. So these are difficult choices, sir, but I thought that I should take this opportunity to at least explain the different classifications and the challenges we face. And we are slowly and steadily untangling the knots and trying to, without disturbing the system too much, we are trying to see how we can efficiently improve the overall education system. So regarding the points mentioned by the Honorable MLA from Dadingri, he was of course correct in certain aspects. There could be situations where some treatment may be required because the kind of technical support and the manpower support in certain cases is not available. But as far as my knowledge goes, this is not the norm, sir. It doesn't happen in every case. It doesn't happen to all the patients. So therefore, the cases and the problems that can be handled by the hospital is normally handled by the hospital. Referrals are made only in situations where the hospital or the doctors feel that they require more advanced treatments which may not be available in that particular hospital or that particular center at that point in time. So it is not a general thing, but also to give some kind of comfort to the honorable member that in the last few years we have been very aggressively moving towards making our CHCs as first referral units. So different CHCs have been given high-end equipments and proper infrastructure and manpower so that basic operations can be conducted at the CHC level itself. And the upgradation of different civil hospitals and district hospitals is also on the cards, We've already started working very aggressively in Tura and also in some parts in Jowai also. Similarly, in Nongstoin area and other headquarters, we intend to ensure that more and more machines will be put in. I was just going through my appointment list. So in the month of April, I will be going to Tura, where we will be inaugurating the MRI machine in Tura, as well as the mother and child hospital. The extension building is also ready for inauguration. So efforts are continuing. It's a continuous process, and we will ensure that we are able to improve the overall facilities. But yes, if there are any specific cases that the honorable member would like me to personally intervene and take necessary action, where certain cases which could have been handled at the district hospital were unnecessarily referred to private hospitals, then yes, this is not a good thing to do. And definitely, if there are cases like this, please let me know. I will take personal intervention and action in this case. But as I said, in general, I don't think that is the case, and I have not come across cases personally where somebody has complained to me. This is at least one of the few cases I'm hearing from honorable member. But wherever it is possible, the hospitals must conduct the treatment and operation and medical intervention at the district hospital or the PHC or the CHC, and only in situations when they are not able to handle, only then is it referred to the private hospitals or to higher hospitals. Thank you very much.
Mover of the amendment motion withdraws his amendment. Just one point, just submission only, no clarification further. It's for the Chief Minister to take the note of this submission. Pertaining to this education and so-called category of ad hoc schools, I think this nomenclature, I will make a submission through you, Mr. Speaker, sir, that the government may take cognizance of this nomenclature and decide to change. I tried to do during my time, somehow or other, under the circumstances, sometimes you end up not being able to do what you want to do. So it's my personal desire and desire of many of the teaching community, because ad hoc means temporary, So this nomenclature itself is very confusing. Therefore, the earlier name, government-aided school, it sounds very well. And they all know it's government-aided school. And there was a guideline earlier, eligibility criteria. So kindly do that. Let there be some criteria so that people will know who are going to be eligible to approach the department even for grant, so that we don't end up facing this kind of request coming to all of us. As politician, you'll end up, with all this kind of requests. So once there is a guideline, eligibility criteria, we are safe also, and then it will give a clear direction as a matter of policy. So this is my submission. So I'll be very happy if this submission is somehow examined and give fruition to.
One line that the Honorable LO will be happy to know that we are actually very, very seriously examining this issue. Just before the assembly session also, we had a very long meeting with the Honorable Minister. It's tough. It's got a lot of concerns, because once you touch this, it's got ramifications from all sides, as Honorable LO has mentioned. But it is needed, sir. The streamlining is needed. And as I mentioned, we are trying to untangle these knots without creating too much of turbulence and too much of disturbance in the system, and not trying to affect too many people. We would like them to obviously be how they are, but if we can restructure it, then it's better for the entire teaching community, and better for the school, and most importantly, better for the students. So it's a very good suggestion, sir. We are definitely examining this.
Right. Now, may I know the mind of the mover, Sri Rupa Marak, as to whether he will withdraw his amendments to the motion of thanks?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I would like to thank personally the Honorable Chief Minister for his prompt reply and commitment and assurance towards my concern. So I am very much satisfied with the reply and assurance which he has given in this August House. So I would like to withdraw my motion. Thank you.
Now, let me put the question before the House. The question is that the mover has leave of the House to withdraw his amendment. Those who are for the motion say aye. Those who are against say no. The ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is carried and the amendment to the motion of thanks to the Governor's address has been withdrawn with the leave of the House. Now let me put the question before the House. The question is that the members of the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly assembled in this session are deeply grateful to the Governor for the address which he has been pleased to deliver to this august House on the 28th February 2025. Those who are in favor say aye. Those who are against say no. The ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is carried and the motion of thanks to the Governor's address is adopted.